All right, everybody. So welcome to week 2 of our procedure. So for this portion, we're going to use the Amberlist 15 to basically protonate our alcohol so that we could remove that as water with methanol. So the first step that we did here is that we measure our Amberlist 15. So as you can see here, we actually weighed out exactly 1.015 grams of our Amberlist 15. Then basically it looks like this, like little beads. Let me stop this stirring. So they look like very small beads, which because we want them to stay basically wet, we added methanol, and so we are stirring for just a few seconds now. What we want to do is that we want to activate the Amberlist 15 beads. So in order to do that, we have to wash them a few times with methanol, right? That's what your procedure says. So now that we're done stirring, I'm gonna take this out, and basically I will be decanting the methanol off. So we don't want to lose our beads. We just want to remove as much of the methanol as we possibly can. Okay. And then we're going to take another 10 milliliters of methanol, and we're going to go ahead and add it to the RBF. And now we are going to stir this again for another minute, and we're going to be doing this reaction or this decanting for one more time. So it'll basically be a total of 3 times. That way our beads are activated and we could proceed with the next reaction. Okay, so.
Hi everyone, we are back again with week 2. So we had activated our Amberlist catalyst by washing it 3 times with methanol. And here is a decanted methanol that we had collected. We are going to dispose of it. And here is our alcohol product from last week that we had got. And we are going to take about 1 gram of this sample. So I have weighed out about 1.036 gram of our ethyl vanillin alcohol, and this is what we're going to use it for today's reaction. So here we have about Amberlist in Amberlist catalyst we have about 15 ml of methanol, and we are going to stir it vigorously while add our ethyl vanillin alcohol portion wise over 5 minutes. So it's almost like a slow addition, and we are going to repeat it over 3 to 4 times till all the samples have been added. Hi everyone, so we are back again. As you can see, the color has changed after 5 minutes. So we added our ethyl vanillin alcohol slowly, and as you can see, it was previously clear, but now it has turned kind of brownish. So please make sure you record that. So this is a very visible change. So what we're going to do now, we are going to set the reflux setup. So we are going to put this thermowell heater. You may have used it previously in this lab before. Put it on top of the thermowell plate and kind of stir it vigorously and along with the refluxing. And also I have set aside 2 drops, couple of drops of our reaction mixture in here for our TLC, so that we can check the progress of our reaction over the period of time. If the reaction does not complete after 15 minutes, but after checking the TLC, that means we have to proceed with the reaction for a longer time. So we are basically monitoring the progress of the reaction. So this is how we set up. Make sure you leave a tiny gap in between here. You don't want it to get heated up so fast. Kind of put the reflux condenser in here. make sure everything is tight, just to wiggle it a little bit, and you guys will be okay. So don't start the heater here, because this is the heater that we're going to use. Keep the mixture stirring, because you want that. And then start from the lowest setting and gradually increase the heat as we go along. Just wait for 5 minutes. If it does not increase, kind of ramp up the setting here and just go on from there. So we're going to reflux it for 15 minutes, and as you know, the reflux starts when we see the first drop coming back down from the condenser. It's not from the start point of your setup. Once you're it's actually the starting point when you see the first drop coming back down into your solution. So not the start point from now. So we'll get back once it starts refluxing.
Hey everyone, so we're back again with our reflux. As you can see now, it's actually refluxing started a few minutes ago. So it started about 12:05 p.m. and so we're gonna continue to reflux for another 10 minutes. And as you can see, it's dropping steady. And basically after that, we're just going to let it cool down after the reflux is done. So again, reflux for 15 minutes. It started at 12:05, so hopefully in just a few minutes or in 10 minutes we'll be done with this. Okay. So hello everyone. So we're back to the setup here with the reflux. So we finished refluxing at 12:20, and so now we, after those 15 minutes we're done, we now letting it cool to room temperature. We also took 2 of the drops and we actually spotted them here. We took 2 drops and we also added acetone to them. So this is the product, and here is the starting material. So what we're gonna do now is now we have our TLC set up here, or have our chamber with a TLC plate. So here it'll be our starting material and this will be the product. So first we're going to spot this. So hey everyone, so we're back here with the UV of our product. So we're gonna go ahead and measure this under the UV light. So as you can see here, we have our starting material, which is here, and then our product, which is in the other lane, which is here. So if you can see here, we also have product in the first with our first starting material, and that's because if you notice when we added the alcohol, yeah, to the acid, we basically the reaction basically started like right away. So that's why we have these spots over here, which match the final product, which is here. So importantly is that we do not see any starting material in our product. So that means that we could go ahead and move on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to circle the starting material in the product so we can get our values, and so that you can record that in your final report. Okay.
So this is how our reaction is now looking like. It's slightly dark brown in color, which it's more intensified after it refluxed. So what we're going to do now, our reaction is complete. Our round bottom is easy to touch and it's at room temp. So we are going to remove our reflux condenser, and also we are going to remove our heater, and we're going to start our solution and gradually add sodium bicarbonate to it. So I have weighed about 0.584 grams of sodium bicarbonate. As you can see, it became slightly cloudy, and we're going to store it like this for about 5 minutes, and we'll catch up after that. Hi everyone, we are back again with week 2. So we are done with our reaction, and we proved with our TLC our reaction has gone to completion. So it's time we added sodium bicarbonate to our solution, and we stored it for 5 minutes. As you can see, the reaction is still kind of cloudy, and it's cloudy in the bottom and it's clear on the top, so it's still brown in color. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do gravity filtration, kind of trying to filter out all the catalysts that we have in here. So this is the setup for gravity filtration. We have our short stem funnel with the filter paper on the top, and then this is the pre-weighed round bottom flask. The weight is 61.22 grams. I weighed it out, cleaned it and weighed it, because this is the flask that we are going to measure our product, the final product weight in. So yeah, so let's get started. So we're gonna let all the liquid go through, and after that we're gonna swirl it 2 or 3 times with methanol and repeat the whole process. So I'm gonna add about 2 mils of our methanol in here, kind of swirl it. But we still have liquid in our filter paper. As you can see, the solution is kind of transparent. It doesn't have any solids in it, and that means the filtration is successful. We don't want any of the amber list 15 beads in there. So we're going to add more methanol and repeat the whole process 2 times. And after this, we're going to take our round bottom to the rotary evaporator, where we're going to show you in the next clip how it looks like and how it's done. Hi everyone, here we are with the rotary evaporator. As we know, we have our product in here after the filtration. So we have latched onto the vacuum and the water aspirator right here. So we're going to start the rotation. Those of you who are familiar with it, just a refresher, or those of you who don't know, this is a water bath. Now it's set to around like 4 to 6. Depending on what solvent you're using, you can manipulate the amount of temperature or the heat you're putting in the water bath. So what's going to happen, the solvent is going to evaporate and go all the way up in here. There's water condenser in here, which kind of cools the solvent down, and your solvent comes dripping back, condenses and comes dripping back into your receiving flask. So you have your compound on the one side and your solvent on the other side. So this is a very good way organic chemists can separate the products from the solvent. So yeah, we're just going to rotate it and kind of gently push it down into the water bath and wait for several minutes.
So hey everyone, we're back here for the summary basically of week 2. So this is the product that we obtained from after the rotovap. It's like a really nice brown oil, as you can see. If we take a smell, it has a very spicy smell. Very light, a little vanilla, very spicy. It is very hard to explain. I wish you were here to smell this, but this is what it looks like. And so for this, we took an IR, and so here is our IR. So you have some of the peaks. Some of these could be residual. Remember that now you don't have an alcohol anymore, or you still have an alcohol, but it shouldn't be giving you that big peak there. We do have an ester that's there, and we have our aromatic protons. and then we have our sp2s and sp3 carbons as well. So just take a note of those, the big peaks that you see here too. It could be the esters and some of the sp2, sp3 carbons that are here. And this could be just some residual, could be a little bit water or some methanol that we use to clean the IR with. Okay, so we'll take a picture of that, and I believe we'll upload it into Blackboard so that you could have it and attach it to your final report. So if you look here in this sheet, this is the summary basically of week 2. This is a very important sheet. So for week 2, we started with 1.015 grams of our Amberlist 15. From last week, we used 1.036 grams of our ethyl vanillyl alcohol. The reaction was quenched with 0.584 grams of sodium bicarbonate. Then the empty weight of this RBF is 61.22 grams. And after rotovapping it, the weight of the product is 62.25 grams. So with that, you could subtract it and find out the amount of product that we obtain. Again, here, this is the 2 TLC plates that we took. This is the first where we are monitoring the conversion of our starting material into our product. So you could clearly see that here, even in our starting material, we already had some product that was forming. Okay, so this is a very quick reaction, and so after reflux, that's the final product. And then we want to compare to our ethyl vanillyl alcohol with our Methyl Diantilis, which is our final product here in C. And as you can see, the alcohol group is more polar, so it stays here at the bottom, where the product conversion here into the ester group, or the ether group, I'm sorry. Now it's actually more or less polar, so it moved up the column. Again, these are the values, and so that will help you find the RF values for each spot. So make sure that you record that and you present that in your final report. So I think this concludes the experiment for week 1 and week 2. Hopefully like I said, hopefully you guys are safe, and more guidelines will be available to you on how to report how to give the final report. Okay, so take care and be safe.